I don't want to let you go without asking you about the yield curve signals, because as you point out, if you just don't stand in the way of growth and you help facilitate it, things can get better. But does this chart make you worried? And what it is a 3-month 10-year yield spread, the most negative since 2007. It's no longer just 5 basis points or 2 basis points, 17, 18 basis points. Neel, what is that chart telling you today?
It's not a comforting signal. We've been paying attention to the yield curve for a couple of years. As the Fed's been raising rates, the front end of the yield curve has gone up, and the back end has stayed anchored or even come down. So I think it is a concerning signal. At a minimum, it's telling us that market participants are forecasting slower economic growth in the future. And so we should take that in as a very serious signal. I think it gives us feedback on where the neutral interest rate is. You know, there's a lot of debate. Are we at neutral today? I would say we're probably pretty close to neutral with the federal funds rate, but that's an inexact science. And so for me, the yield curve is also giving feedback on where we are relative to neutral. I think we're at neutral, but we might be slightly restrictive, and that might be one of the signals that the yield curve is telling us.
How do you separate that fundamental read versus sort of the demographics and the global bond rally, in that you're going to want to buy the U.S. at 217, then bonds at negative 20 basis points?
Well, I think that's right. But I think that that's also market participants are saying the growth outlook for the U.S. economy may be slower than it was a year or two ago, but it's still stronger than it is in Europe. I mean, the U.S. economy is still fundamentally the strongest major economy in the world. And, you know, we have our challenges, but Europe has even bigger challenges. Japan has bigger challenges. China has its own challenges. And so I think it's a concerning signal for us individually, but relatively we're better off than most other major economies.